In January of 1947, Los Angeles was a city of dreams and shadows. Hollywood's golden age was in full swing, with stars lighting up the silver screen and thousands of hopefuls flocking to California to chase their own fame and fortune. But beneath the glitz and glamour lay a darker truth, a city haunted by crime, corruption, and violence. On the morning of January 15, 1947, a young woman's body was discovered in a vacant lot near Leimert Park. She had been murdered in one of the most shocking and brutal ways imaginable. The victim was 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, later known to history as the Black Dahlia. Her death became one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, a case that has baffled detectives, spawned countless theories, and inspired films, books, and endless speculation. This is the story of Elizabeth Short and the mystery of the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short's life before the murder. Elizabeth Short was born on July 29, 1924, in Boston, Massachusetts. She was the third of 5 daughters born to Cleo and Phoebe Short. Her childhood was far from easy. When Elizabeth was still young, her father abandoned the family, leaving her mother to raise 5 children alone during the Great Depression. Elizabeth grew up yearning for escape, for a life larger than her circumstances. She was described as beautiful, with pale skin, dark hair, and striking blue eyes. Those who knew her said she had a certain charm, a sense of mystery about her. She dreamed of becoming an actress, and like so many others, she eventually made her way to Los Angeles. But Hollywood wasn't kind to her. Though she chased acting roles, she never achieved stardom. Instead, she drifted, moving between cities, staying with friends, dating men, and working odd jobs. Still, Elizabeth carried herself with glamour. She dressed elegantly in black, wore red lipstick, and cultivated an aura of mystery that earned her the nickname the Black Dahlia. The days before her death. In early January of 1947, Elizabeth was in Los Angeles, moving between cheap hotels and acquaintances' apartments. She was known for her charm, but also for her struggles. She had little money, few stable relationships, and no permanent home. On January 9th, Elizabeth was last seen at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses say she was waiting in the lobby, possibly for a boyfriend. After that, she vanished, until her body was discovered 6 days later. The discovery. On the morning of January 15, 1947, a woman named Betty Bersinger was walking with her young daughter along a sidewalk in Leimert Park, a quiet residential neighborhood. In an empty lot, she noticed what looked like a discarded mannequin. But it wasn't a mannequin. It was the body of Elizabeth Short. The scene was horrific. Elizabeth's body had been cut in half at the waist. Her face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth toward her ears in a grotesque Glasgow smile. Her body was drained of blood, scrubbed clean, and posed with her arms raised and legs spread. Police rushed to the scene, but what they found was unlike anything they had ever encountered. The investigation. The brutality of the murder shocked Los Angeles. The press quickly swarmed the case, sensationalizing Elizabeth's life and dubbing her the Black Dahlia. The LAPD launched a massive investigation. More than 150 suspects were interviewed, including boyfriends, acquaintances, and strangers. But the crime scene itself yielded little evidence. The killer had been meticulous, leaving almost no trace. Letters soon arrived at newspapers, allegedly from the killer. One included Elizabeth's personal belongings, her birth certificate, photographs, and an address book. The writer promised more killings. Police believed the letters were genuine. Yet despite this chilling correspondence, no arrests were made. Suspects. Over the years, hundreds of suspects have been suggested, but none have been definitively proven guilty. Let's look at the most notable. 1. Dr. George Hodel. A wealthy Los Angeles physician, Hodel has been a prime suspect for decades. He was accused of sexual abuse by his daughter and was later investigated for possible connections to Elizabeth's murder. His own son, former LAPD detective Steve Hodel, became convinced his father was the killer. Hodel had a medical background, which could explain the surgical precision of Elizabeth's mutilation. 2. Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner who knew Elizabeth. She had lived in his house for a time, and her belongings were found in his possession. Hansen was questioned, but never charged. 3. Leslie Dillon, a bellhop and aspiring writer who allegedly confessed to details of the crime, but later recanted. Some investigators believed his confession was coerced. 4. Other theories. Over the years, countless others have been suggested, ranging from mobsters to unknown sadists. Some theories even claim the murder was part of a broader conspiracy involving Hollywood elites. Why the case remains unsolved. Several factors have kept the Black Dahlia case unsolved. The crime scene was compromised by reporters and onlookers before police secured it. Media sensationalism spread rumors and distorted facts. Corruption within the LAPD may have derailed the investigation. Most importantly, the killer was extraordinarily careful. The level of planning, precision, and control suggests someone intelligent, meticulous, and possibly experienced in crime. The legacy. The Black Dahlia murder became a symbol of Los Angeles's dark side, the hidden violence behind Hollywood's glamorous facade. Elizabeth Short was vilified by the press, painted as a promiscuous woman, when in truth she was a young woman with dreams, flaws, and humanity. Her death inspired novels, films, and countless true crime investigations. Yet, beneath all the theories and myths, she remains what she always was, a victim whose life was stolen in an act of shocking cruelty. Conclusion. Elizabeth Short came to Hollywood chasing stardom. Instead, she became immortalized in death as the Black Dahlia, a symbol of mystery, tragedy, and unsolved crime. 70 years later, her killer has never been caught. Her story endures because it forces us to confront not just the darkness of one crime, but the shadows lurking in the human soul. The Black Dahlia murder is not just a case file. It is a reminder that behind every headline is a human life, and behind every mystery, a demand for justice.